much do we know about the Goths? Those fortunate enough to keep at a sound distance from the historical discourse shall probably think of those numerous Bela Lugosi impersonators who live by their hairspray and their macabre aesthetics. Those who did devote some of their time to tearing through all the insurmountable dogma and inexplicable lacunae in place of vibrant ages and civilizations that one finds in history textbooks will doubtlessly think of Jordanes and Cassiodors in this respect, and recollect the Goths to have been a group of Germanic tribes who swarmed Europe in the alleged 3rd century AD, to rape, pillage and terrorize.
صهیونیست ها از کجا آمدند؟ آلمان ها مدعی بودند که نژاد برتر هستند. ایتالیایی ها به گذشته رومی خود می اندیشیدند و خود را نژاد برتر می نامیدند. و یونانی ها هم به همین شکل در گذشته های خود غوطه‌ور بودند. سرب ها با همین نژاد پرستی آتش جنگ جهانی اول را در مونتنگرو مشتعل کردند و یهودی های تندرو نیز مدعی شدند نژاد برتری هستند که خداوند آنها را برگزیده است. همه اقوام قبلی قطع زمینی برای خود داشتند تا ادعا کنند قوم آنها در این قطع زمین نوز گرفتند، و اما یهودیان افراطی که به دلیل جریانهای رقیب نژادی در اقلیت قرار گرفته بودند مجبور بودند ادعا کنند که قطع زمین آنها جایی در شرق دنیاست. نکته جالب این که اولا ساکنان اصلی فلسطین کنعانی هستند که اجداد همین مردم فلسطینند و نام فلسطین نام دیگری از قوم کنعان است. دوم اینکه یهودیان قبایلی بودند که از مصر به سوی ارض کنعان یعنی فلسطین حرکت کردند و سپس در کنار این قوم به زندگی پرداختند. و سوم اینکه طبق روال معمول همه ملت‌ها در طول سالیان متمادی اقوام در یکدیگر حل می‌شوند. به ویژه آنکه دو انقلاب بزرگ دینی در ارض کنعان یا فلسطین روی داد. نخست مسیحیت و دوم اسلام. چگونه ممکن است که همه اقوام ساکن فلسطین همگی مسیحی و سپس مسلمان شده باشند، اما یهودیان خود را از این همه تحولات که اتفاقاً میان اقشار عادی مردم روی داده بود برکنار بدانند و از آن تأثیری نپذیرفته باشند؟ استدلال صهیونیست ها قبل از اینکه استدلال باشد یک شوخی است. آنها به اخراج اجباری یهودیان از ارض کنعان در تقریباً 3000 سال قبل اشاره می کنند که اصولاً تاریخ آن را به شکل کاملاً مبهم و تنها با استناد به متون یهودی به خاطر می آورد. مهمتر این که اولاً همه یهودیان توسط بخت و نسخ کوچانده نشده بودند. دوم، کوچ اجباری آنها به دلیل اعتراض کنعانیان یعنی صاحبان اصلی فلسطین بود. سوم که همه تحولات مذهبی، سیاسی و اجتماعی مهم مانند ظهور مسیحیت و اسلام بین 500 تا 1000 سال پس از این رویداد اتفاق افتاد. قرائن و شواهد نشان می‌دهد مهاجرت به غرب اصولاً توسط یهودیان صورت نگرفته است و یهودیان غربی یا اشکنازی ها در اصل فرزندان اقوام یهودی شده‌ای مانند خزرها هستند که در قفقاز و شرق اروپا زندگی می کردند و تنها سفردیم ها یا یهودیان شرقی ساکن ایران و بلاد عربی می توانند ادعا کنند که روزگاری در فلسطین زندگی می کردند.
To the chosen ones that are chosen to have this information and to move it through the generations. The agenda for centralized control and all that stuff. And then there's the movie, which is there to hide all that. and the movie is the official version of events that pours out of the television. They're being sold a cover story to hide what's really going on, not just in terms of the space program, but in every area of our lives. I mean, what is the more classic and obvious cover story than weapons of mass destruction, we've got to go and get them? And clearly, you know, we see it was a cover story now. If you had a brain, you could see it was before. I've said in my latest book, Tales from the Time Loop, that we're looking at the Fourth Reich. And then I put under that brackets, or a continuation of the Third, which never ended. People have no idea, the general population, because no one tells them, of the fundamental connections between the Nazis. The people now think, oh yeah, the Nazis have gone, and the American administration. First of all, the Nazis were funded out of Britain and America. Why is it that they were taking their wages home in wheelbarrows during the Weimar Republic? Germany was in economic catastrophe. A few short years later, they have a war machine that's taking on the world. How did this come about? Anyone else? Well, let's ask the Bush family. Because, and this is not just me, other researchers have come up with this, and a guy called John Loftus, who is the, he runs the Holocaust Museum in Florida, that Prescott Bush, who is the grandfather of the present president, he was a major executive of the Harriman Empire in America. And they had a company called the Union Banking Corporation, the UBC, which interfaced with the banking and steel empire in Europe of a guy called Fritz Thyssen, who was named at places like the Nuremberg trial and elsewhere as a major funder of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. And what Prescott Bush, who was the key executive in the Union Banking Corporation, was doing was funneling money and other resources through the UBC into Thyssen's empire, and then it went to the Nazis, and that's where the war machine came from, also through the Bank of England.
Only yesterday, every business, every profession was part of Hitler's system. The doctors, technicians, clockmakers, postmen. Practically every German was part of the Nazi network. They believed they were born to be masters, that we are inferiors, designed to be their slaves.
A number of companies in which Prescott Bush was involved in were closed down during the Second World War under the Trading with the Enemies Act. William S. Farish, whose grandson is now Bush's ambassador to Britain, William S. Farish III, very close friend and horse interbreeder with the Queen of England. His grandfather, William S. Farish, was president of Standard Oil, the Rockefeller Oil Company, when it was exposed as supplying the Nazis with oil during the Second World War, while, you know, they were supposedly in conflict with America. So what you had then was this CIA, British intelligence operation called Project Paperclip, which was to get the Nazis, the major Nazis, with all and a lot that with tremendous knowledge that are not registered by history, out of Germany so they would be safe, and into South America and North America to continue this agenda up to the present day. And so this is why you have Nazi after Nazi turning up as founders of and creators of NASA and all these other institutions, the CIA, that appeared immediately after the Second World War.
And the countdown continues to roll along smoothly. Now in the terminal countdown portion, we're standing by now to medium pressurization of the fuel tank. The second stage fuel tank pressurized. Third stage fuel tank pressurized. The countdown continuing.